took before the first gen even pops.
Make you wanna call my name.
Trying to bait out a hit there, but not able to get it. Ricky's AT able to get away. That was a missed decisive strike. And that is an insta-down.
Live. We're live.
No, we're not. I don't believe you. I need evidence to see that we're live.
Oh, God, what happened to you?
Welcome back, everybody, to Vigo's Court. I'm your Judge Little Ruger, and with me today is Counselor Poggy. And today we have another exciting match for you guys. Poggy, what's on the docket?
What's on the docket? Well, on the docket today, we got these two teams. Week 4 matchup, conference rivals, 4 Dwights, 1 Locker, and defending champions, Creepy Daddy Michaels. And what map are we playing on, Rue?
We are playing on the Ironworks of Misery with 160 square tiles, 10,240 meters squared, 8 hooks minimum, 13 hooks max with 1 permagen. I'm calling it a permagen. It always spawns there, I swear. I've never been on that map and it did not spawn there. I don't care what you say.
Well, hopefully this isn't a misery for us to watch, but...
It's a huge map. It's a huge map.
As far as permagens go, I mean, the point of a permagen is not that it's always a gen in the same area. It's a gen that spawns in exactly the same place. That's really all the permagen needs.
I know, but it really feels like a permagen. It really feels like a permagen. That building always has a gen. And it's always, in my opinion, really hard to defend because the survivors have a lot of places they can just, like, bail. They just, swarm like flies.
Just like our audience think that pog art is a thing, what you feel is irrelevant to what's true. So,
facts don't care about your feelings.
Yeah.
yeah, I know. Oh, goodness. How is chat doing? You guys doing all right
sound
tonight?
miserable.
Good.
Are you miserable because of the map we're on, Ironworks of Misery? Or are you just falling into play with that? Or are you still burning up from your games earlier?
Oh, no, I'm... Let us not mention the previous match. It's all good.
But it happened, and maybe we should talk about it. No? Okay, maybe not. Let's go into the stats instead.
Don't remind me. Show me
Here
stats,
are the
Hoggy.
stats.
Give me hard facts.
There's the hard
no,
facts.
that is a... Those are some numbers. Holy cow, look at that hook differential. Good night. And then escape percent, CDM's definitely got the upper hand there. Gen percent, 100. Imagine having 100% gen rate. Imagine.
Yeah. Loop Artist, too, has the same one. Gen rate 100%.
Dear goodness. Just seriously, like, being a killer going up to this year, like, oh, geez, they have like 100% gen rate. I don't want to be here right now.
I kind of feel that. I do.
That is...
I genuinely do.
That is daunting. And if I remember correctly, 4 Dwights, 1 Locker is the home team, so Guildspire will be killing first, and that'll be fun. I love watching Guildspire play.
It's just me and Guildspire here together. I'm just kind of, waiting for this little empty area here to be filled. We might have to work on that a little bit, but in the meantime, there are other things we could be talking about. Like, I don't know, how about the new UI they've been working on? They've been working on changing the UI from its current state to another one, which I hope that we all will appreciate that they're sharing that with us and that we can look at it and see what they're putting out, behavior, communicating. Nice. I'm okay with all that. So
I'm glad they listened, but the core complaint is we liked the structure of the old UI. Just keep it the way it was. We don't mind if you update the icons and add some other information. So, Like the top
Yeah.
response to that is a really good version of what they have if they want to try it out. It is good that they listen, though.
I mean, I did a video on it too. Everybody's done videos on it. They've talked about it ad nauseum, and there's really not much else to talk about other than the fact that at least now they're listening. And I think I'm sad that it took them this long to start listening to their community, but I'm glad that they're doing it, and I'm okay with that. So, let's encourage it and be grateful that they're starting to pay attention to us and get our feedback before they implement changes now, and hopefully that becomes the new trend, and we start to see the game take a turn for the better in the long term. So even though it was a struggle for you today because UI made you so sad, I know, but it's coming along.
That's not the only thing that made me sad, but so little known secret, Hawkins has horrible hitboxes already on some of the areas. It doesn't make it better with the current patch. Let's put it that way. Get dedicated. Get dedicated.
Yeah.
Also, hi Domo.
Well, okay, so
Hello,
we
Sensei.
have we got Sam here listening, and I just wanted to tell him King Pleb Warrior is here. He hasn't invited anyone yet. I don't know who the rest of the team would be. I think Freaky JT's coming in. Yeah, okay, so I don't know who else I need to invite, if there's anybody, or if he's going to do all the inviting. But anyway, we're getting ready. We're getting started. We're working our way up to it, and they're all kind of coming in. Again, these teams, this team in particular, this Survivor Squad, I'm going to just remove myself from there so I'm not confusing everyone. I'm not on their Survivor Squad, just so you know. These guys are intense. That is a blendette, yes. Actually, Rue, you were here earlier before the first stream. I was doing a game, and what happened? I just logged in my first game, and we had 4 blendettes all together. One of them disconnected from the game early, but it was really funny. I was like, why? What? I loved it. I was thinking like maybe I'll back out and Rue and I could do a Survive with Friends before the stream. And then when I saw the 4 blendettes together, I'm like, no, I gotta go. I'm sorry. I can't back out of this. I gotta go. It turned into a big nothing burger, but it was funny.
It was a good time.
4 blendettes at like rank 15 aren't gonna be doing gens.
You literally looped Myers for the period of like 2 different tier 3s. It was pretty great. I enjoyed that. Like, seriously,
should we be impressed?
You got the loops.
Should we be impressed though by a Myers that's rank 17, who maybe not so good at Myers? He was kind of committing too hard to me, But I don't know.
What were the other ranks in your team? 20, a 20, and a 19. I mean, you're like the only one that was like rank 11 or in that one. So yeah,
13,
no, like
but yeah.
I don't care. I don't care. You're fine.
The rank 12
You're
is back.
beautiful.
Yes, Exhibity is back as well. We have Exhibity, Freaky JT, King Pleb Warrior, and Rejuvenated Trip. Guiltspire are going to be killing first for the squad for Dwights 1 Locker. Now, he's a good killer. He's top 2 in the league at the moment. Now, will he retain that? Just like I think Rue may have gotten bumped down on the list today as well. You were at 3. I don't know what you're at now. I'd have to look at the stats updated, but
It didn't update yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be down to probably like 5, maybe 6.
I did update it, so let's
to
see
be
where
fair,
you are. You're at 5, yeah. You're at 5 now.
Yeah, like it is like the top. I think it was number 1's at like 1 full hook and a half above, but the rest of everybody's kind of like really kind of close in there. So getting 2 back-to-back 4 hooks is not ideal.
But enough about us. Here's what is so interesting about these teams. Okay, so Guiltspire is going to be killing, and he's position 2 in the league right now. But King Pleb Warrior is here as Survivor, and he's position 1 as killer. So, I mean, it's kind of like best of the best going head-to-head on the killer side. As for the Survivors, for Dwights 1 Locker struggles a bit. I don't even think they make it on the tier list at all. I think actually one of them is at rank 26 in our leaderboard. However, CDM, their entire squad is in the top 10, I'm pretty sure. So, except for the new guy, Exhibity, because he hasn't played enough games. But King Pleb Warrior, Rejuvenated Trip, Freaky JT, all of them in the top 10. So, yeah, that's going to be rough.
I'm not going to say King Pleb isn't a fantastic killer, because they are. But when you're already on an insane team, that's one team that's insane that you don't have to face.
Sure.
I'm just being rude here. I'm kidding.
I mean, but where's the lie, right? So anyway,
Yeah.
So here's what we're saying: we see 2 medkits, a toolbox, and Freaky JT is bringing a flashlight. Again, we've seen them bring a flashlight lately. I think it might be in preparation for possible hack games, but also I think that they bring it to go for flashlight saves. It's something we've actually seen them try to start doing now. Freaky JT did one last week, I think, was it? And yeah, I mean, it's become sort of a meta around these 2 teams, with Deity and CDM having both brought flashlights. I don't know if it's a great idea, but they've been doing it, so we'll see how it works for them.
It depends on the map. It depends on the map. If you plan on getting down, because there's a lot of how would you say, low-lying geometry. There are jungle gyms, but there's low-lying geometry in the center. They're everywhere. That the killer can't really hide their face from. If you hide well enough, you can get the flashlight save. However, I'm sure the argument here is you're not on a gen. What are you doing?
Right.
So,
but if you can get the flashlight save without wasting too much time, it's worth it. But again, like you said, it's one of those things. It's risky to do and waste the time of your team by not doing a gen. It depends on a lot of different factors, I think. But the flashlight isn't necessarily going to get used. We've also seen them bring flashlights and get no use out of it. So it does make you wonder, is it actually meta? Is it actually worth bringing at all? And I guess we'll have to find out. I don't know. I'm not an expert on what these teams are thinking and why they're doing it. And CDM is pretty high tier in terms of their gameplay, and so I don't want to necessarily call them out yet and question them on these decisions until I see what happens.
Mm-hmm. No, I get you. And I mean, like I said, if it works, it works. So, and that was the last round, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. I'm so excited. I love watching these guys. I do. This is so great. We're going to roll that first rules video. We'll be right back after these messages. Hello, everyone. We're going to be going over these rules and explaining how they work. So, 2 teams will go head-to-head, playing each role twice for a total of 4 trials. In play order is home team kills, survives, and then kills. In addition, teams get points in the trial for objectives, escapes, and hooks. And teams can't bring or use keys, iridescents, event items, or add-ons. Survivors can only bring 2 of a perk or item. Survivors can only bring yellow and brown items, and BP bonuses are awarded post-trial. Broken rules may result in penalties or restarts. I wish this guy would just shut up. Hey, everybody, we're back here again. Week 4 matchups, conference rivals for Dwights One Locker versus defending champions. Creepy Daddy Michaels. Yes, they won last season. Season 0 did fantastic against Loop Artists, who then Bubba's bullies. And we're currently still loading in. It shouldn't be much longer. I suspect we'll be in about 10 seconds. I'm just going 10, 9, 8, 7. Ah, fiddle. I'm way late. Anyway, it's okay. We got a doctor against CDM. Oh, I don't know about this. I don't know if this is a good idea.
That's surprising.
It is surprising. I'm actually concerned. I don't know if Doctor is going to be a good play. And he's the first one he starts chasing is Freaky JT. Freaky JT is one of the strongest on this team, and he may even struggle to just land a hit on Freaky JT. But again, they just loaded in, so maybe. No, but he gets that pallet stun and does a flashlight in his face. Freaky JT is definitely nothing to be trifled with, and I think we already see him recognizing that and bouncing right off of that chase. He does not want to chase Freaky JT. He's chasing them off the generators with Hex Ruin, which is probably a pretty wise thing to do. If you want to get value out of Hex Ruin, that's the way to do it. Abandon that first chase the people off the generators, get them off so you can get that Hex Ruin value. Get them out of that corner of the map, and he's pushing them elsewhere. But in spite of that, though, he's going to be now chasing, I believe this is Rejuvenated Trip, playing the King David. And David now working his way around the L. The L wall, he's going to be looping this one. Is he going to mind game it? He's going to go for the fake. He does go for the fake. He gets it. Doctor going around the long way and have to reset, going now around the T loop. As Doctor continues to chase, he's trying to mind game the David, but David not really getting caught out. and is going to go for it, but David now does take the hit, is going to have to leave the TNL loop and work his way to another one. Very well done by the Doctor, but a lot of wasted time as well, able to get a whole generator out in that chase before he even got him down. The chase continues with David working his way to another pallet. Is it going to be safe? Is he going to be able to get this one? Now, these pallets are not generally considered safe. He does get electrocuted at the pallet. Not going to be able to drop it right away. He does a dead hard to the pallet. Very nice. Gets the stun. And again, going to be wasting this killer's time even more. These survivors, if they're doing anything right now, it is probably just killing generators. And that is exactly what they're doing. Another generator at 70%. And yeah, this Doctor is having a hard time. He is now abandoning chase, though, with David. Rejuvenated Ship is going to be left alone, as now he does catch Lori working her way outside of the killer shack. So now Rejuvenated Ship's going to have a chance to completely heal up, making all of that time he spent, yeah, he's fully healed now, all that time he spent chasing David, completely wasted. Get nothing out of it. No hook, no anything. Guildspire is struggling to make headway out of this game right now. And we see 70% on that gen. Another gen popping. 2 gens out of the way. Lori's still in the chase, working her way to another TNL loop. And the Doctor abandoning chase with her as well. He is just not able to secure anything. I think Doctor may have been a massive mistake. 3 gens completed now, as we see Doctor just has gotten nothing this entire game so far. Is he going to even be able to get a single hook? Is he going to get a kill at all? Chasing Freaky JT now, working around the outside of the T loop. Freaky JT, if anyone's going to be good at this, it's going to be Freaky. He's going to be able to handle this T-loop pretty well. Let's see how he does. And look, get him there. He does actually get a hit on him, which is surprising. Freaky JT getting stuck on the trash can, which is going to be devastating for the length of the chase. Is he going to be able to get to the next pallet? We hope so. He's working his way there, but not going to go for it. Instead, going for the TNL loop. Working his way into that, going to jump through and work around this loop. And Freaky JT is kind of combining the loop here with the pallet, which is pretty smart. And does enable him to do that, but now, of course, leaving the safety of that, he got enough distance on the Doctor to work back to the other TNL loop. Freaky JT is wasting so much of this Doctor's time right now. And again, Survivors just working on gens. There is just not much that Guildspire is able to do. This Survivor squad is devastatingly strong against this killer right now. And Freaky JT is fully is injured, and he's going to be fully healed soon, I'm sure. As now Rejuvenated Ship is again in chase with the Doctor, I think. Oh, but he abandons that one too. He is having trouble deciding who to commit to. Everybody has been able to give him a run for his money completely. The only one he has not seen is Exivity, and it might be on purpose. Exivity, I think, is slightly weaker in the Survivor Squad, and it may be the case that what he's doing is saying, okay, we're going to try to keep Exivity out of the limelight. Just let him do gens, and if he does get in a chase, he gets in a chase. But at the moment, Doctor hasn't even seen Dwight this entire time. He's seen Lori, he's seen Freaky GT, and he's seen Rejuvenated Trip. And we've also seen 3 generators again. That's the first time I've actually seen Dwight in front of the Doctor going off to the left, and he doesn't go after him. Instead, going again for Rejuvenated. And Doctor is going to use his shock here around the T-loop. Now, he is going to body block Rejuvenated Ship. Going to get in front of the Megan as he body blocks for that hit to prevent Meg from going down. Freaky JT going to get to a safe loop, allowing Rejuvenated to do exactly the same with that extra speed boost he gets. Now, Freaky is back here at another TNL loop. These TNL loops are just really strong for these Survivor squads. He does kind of make a mistake, but he might actually be able to get to that window. He baits a hit, does a dead hard, going for the L wall now. Very well played by Freaky JT. Beautiful Survivor plays. And an adrenaline play as well, going to get him fully healed. This Doctor has gotten nothing. All 5 generators completed. Jeez, this has just been devastating to watch so far. These Survivors are absolutely phenomenal, and Guildspire is just struggling to get any headway at all. He has gotten nothing except hits, and everybody getting healed back up, and that's it. No hooks at all. Just insane play by this team. And now they're working on both exit gates. The Doctor currently chasing the only injured player who's left. However, he does dead hard forward, drops the pallet early, which is, of course, what you want to do right now. Do not let the Doctor get you down. Do not let him get a hook. We see Lori coming back to body block while the Doctor continues the chase towards the exit gate. Are they going to be able to get there? I think so. They're bringing back Dwight as well. Dwight's going to come back as well to body block, bringing a group body block. Where is the last one? Meg is the only one by the exits currently, while both Dwight and Lori are trying to body block for King Pleb. I'm sorry, Rejuvenated. Rejuvenated does go down at the exit, but I think they'll be able to block him long enough to prevent it. Let's see what he does. Is he going to be able to get out the exit before he gets the pickup? He does get out the exit, and Freaky JT will too out the other exit. Both exits gone, and that is GG's. Holy mother of God. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh. I am sweating from just how much happened in that game and how little happened too. It's bizarre to say that, but so much happened and so much didn't happen. No hooks. Not a single hook. What? Why? Rue, help me here. Okay, here's what we got. We got Hex Ruin, Hex Undying, Thrilling Tremors, and Dying Light. Now, he did get a little bit of value out of these in the early game by chasing people off gens, but he just wasn't able to get a single down. I mean, Thrilling Tremors came in no use at all because you got to get a down to use that, and Dying Light, of course, the same thing pretty much. You have to hook your survivor that's not the Obsession, and that he just didn't do that. So, oof.
What I'm going to say is there's no add-ons. And Dying Light, I don't understand that at all.
I don't either. I don't know if the unlock add-ons might have been a mistake, an accident, perhaps, but I don't know.
I think they just came in. I think they just came in with a burner. I do not know. This feels like coming in with a burner
against CDM. I would want to go crazy on CDM. At least try to bring your best. But was it a burner? Or?
I would too. I don't know. You know a team like CDM, to my knowledge, you cannot beat them without an S or A tier killer, or get anywhere near doing that. And I'm sure Guildspire knows. I don't know why the Doctor pick. I know they're good on a variety of killers, even Doctor, but Doctor doesn't cut it against them.
All right, well, we're going to come back to this in just a moment, and we'll be right back after this. We're going to do a post-game review in just a moment, and we're going to try to get to our next game as well. So this is Week 4 matchup, conference rivals for Dwights One Locker versus Creepy Daddy Michaels, the defending champions who are just doing their showing. They're just, wow. These guys are bullies. Yes, I agree. 5 generators got done in that first trial, obviously. 4-man escape. Again, obviously. With how many hooks? 0 freaking hooks. What on earth happened there? I mean, just 0 kills, 0 hooks, nothing. He got nothing out of this game. 2 points for Dwights One Locker. I don't even know what those points are from. I guess blood points. And Creepy Daddy Michaels with just an F-ton of points. Creepy Daddy Michaels leading into the next trial. I do not know what to say. I really don't. That was disgusting. That was absolutely disgusting. These survivors made a joke out of Doctor.
CDM is a very, very good team. I know for a fact CDM can bleed, but I don't know. Oh goodness, chat just said, "Rue, what do you mean, Basement Trapper?" Think Basement Trapper might have been. Have you ever heard of outliers? In a stat chart, you have outliers. I think Basement Trapper was definitely an outlier. That said, normally you can get a couple hooks on them, but all these guys are very, very good at looping. Like we saw right there, they will abuse you when it comes to loop. They were even using they even used Dead Hard to there was one time Freaky J2 was in chase. They used Dead Hard to dodge the Doctor's shock through the pallet, and then didn't even drop the pallet. They just W'd onto the next tile. Just you could call it greedy, but they're also just insanely strong. So, and that play right there, they've got mind games galore. Just
I want to comment on that greedy thing because you're well, I don't want to talk about that just yet. We'll discuss it in a minute, but I want to say you talked about them being greedy. They are not known for being greedy, though. CDM is known for dropping pallets early and being safe, but I think what happened is they realized they measure while they're talking. Their communication has to be on point. I just can't imagine. Mm-hmm. And And so what they're probably doing is they're saying, this killer is struggling to even do chase. You can play it a little bit unsafe. You can loop an extra turn around this or that. You don't have to drop the pallet as early. That kind of thing. They're probably being super, less safe when they know they can be, Like, when the doctor was struggling, they're like, oh, well, we can just loop this for days. Let's just keep going around this pallet, and I think that's what we saw is just usually they would play it safe. Like when they went up against Bubba's Bullies in last season's finals, they dropped basically every pallet immediately. And we didn't see that here because I don't think they felt they needed to, if that makes sense.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. I know Guildspire's a good killer, but again, we know that CDM is probably one of the most cracked teams that ever existed. So, I know that you can bring, I know for a fact, you can bring Spirit and Freddy and still struggle against them heavily. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why the doctor pick. I'm sure we can ask them at some point, but yeah, that is definitely not something I would bring in a CDM. Again, I wouldn't bring anything less than a Freddy Spirit or any kind of that thing, unless I was going in with the intention of not actually trying to win the match against them, just because they're that they're that stacked, in my opinion. So I don't know.
Stacked. I like that phrasing. I do. I mean, I actually loved every minute of this game. It was exciting, even though not a single hook happened, not a single down happened. Just watching them play, it was like just watching them play so perfectly in every single chase was exciting for me. I know people want to see them get downs and kills and see people get dead, but at the same time, watching survivors just make a joke out of Doctor like that was exciting for me. And I'm not saying they made a joke out of Guildspire. I'm saying the Doctor himself, the killer itself, I think struggled and then of course the lack of add-ons. We can talk about that now. I think I don't know what happened there. Was that an oversight? Was that a deliberate choice? Did he just not care? I don't know. I feel like that was a big mistake from Guildspire not to bring add-ons. That upsets me a little bit. I'm a little bit disappointed to see that.
They may have had to reset a lobby.
Maybe.
They may have had to reset a lobby and they lost their build that they were going to take.
Maybe he just forgot when they had to that could happen too. But I mean, that's where you got to take that time in the lobby while you're readying up to pay attention. You got everything. You got to have your checklist. If you're trying to be a pro gamer, you got to have that checklist. You got to know what you're doing and you got to be ready on top of things. So you got to maybe even have a coach that's there to help you do it. And CDM almost never forgets to bring anything or do anything or set anything up. They're always on top of it. They are showing over and over again that they are here to win every single game. And that's what they're going to continue to do. So I hope they do anyway.
One thing also, because we were talking about just Doctor in general earlier. I think they slowed down from 115 down to 75 during their shock period when they're charging their shock. And while I think they do definitely need to have a slowdown, because can you imagine what Doctor would be like if they were just like Clown now, where they didn't get a slowdown when they were using their shock? It'd be that's not okay. But I think 75 is way too harsh of a penalty for Doctor to slow down. I think I'd rather go to 105 or 110, because you lose so much distance using your shock and it's so hard to time. I don't know. Just I understand that there's killers that are going to struggle in a competitive environment, but I feel like there are some killers that shouldn't struggle this much as far as kits go. Similar to Trapper, because Trapper is going to struggle in a competitive environment. What's another example? I would argue Wraith in almost every situation is going to struggle in a competitive environment. Stealth maps aside, because you can definitely get some. Again, on our home map Hawkins, you can definitely do some damage with Wraith on Hawkins, but that's probably an outlier again. So I don't know. Buff Doctor, please. Oh, I am so big. Hello, everybody.
That was the wrong one. Sorry about that.
What did you do?
I broke everything. Make you giant again?
back.
No, we're not doing that.
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to help us move along a little bit. We are still in a lobby. I only see one survivor right now, which, I mean, if they want a 1v1 at the cow shed, go right on ahead. But I don't think that this is time for that, guys, even though it would be pretty interesting.
I think they're trying to get a hold of CDM's killer.
You know, we're here with Rejuvenated Trip. He's in the lobby with me. So we have the killer in. I think that's, isn't that their killer? Yes.
Is that King Pleb Warrior?
But I say, is it King Pleb
Rejuvenated
Warrior?
Trip. Is it supposed to be King Pleb Warrior? And they can join on me, so I don't know why they don't do that if that's what they want to do, or I can join on them, or they can invite me.
Trip is playing killer. Trip is playing.
Okay. So yeah.
Bet.
Yeah. So I got the invite from Freaky, so I figured that had to be right. And I'm just waiting on Guildspire. Guildspire hasn't invited anybody, so if somebody could maybe ping him and tell him to invite some people, that would be ideal for sure. Because we are still waiting for them to set up their lobby. In the meantime, we can continue to look at some clips, I suppose, and talk a little bit more about other things that we might like to see on this map in particular, because this map is certainly one of the maps that I don't love. It's not like insanely one-sided, but it is a much more difficult map than, say, Call Tower, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, it's I think it's survivor-sided pretty much for the most part. There's a couple of places where there's kind of dead zones, but as long as you do like what these guys did and stay around where the loops are, it's pretty much easy pickings, easy going for you. You just go from one loop to the next. Which is exactly what they did. They just chained loops together, chained the TNL wall to the palace and things like that. And so, for me, what killer I would bring on this map if it wasn't Hag? just gotta point that out. If it's not gonna be Hag, I'm gonna have to say Pig. I think I'd want to waste as much of the survivor's time as possible by getting some downs and getting some hats on their heads and making them run around the map and do that, because this map is a little bit large, and it can be tricky to work around with that one. So I've had some success with Pig on this map, so I might think about that one. What do you think, Real? What killer would you bring?
Haven't we seen a Pig on this map already once? I thought we have.
I think so.
Yeah, but I say Pig worked pretty well, I would say. This map, Blight, I think, would be fine. You've got a lot of geometry that you can bounce off of pretty consistently. I don't have a ton of issues with geometry on this map. Maybe one or two stumps, and that's it. Billy, I would even say, would be fine, just because you get mobility out of them. There's a couple different killers. Any killer that has mobility would be really nice, in my opinion. I can understand Pig just because the slowdown, though the lack of mobility is definitely pretty brutal, and you're going to see the Pig even if they're crouching and stealthing. So.
Yes, absolutely, and I agree. It's not necessarily perfect. I'd probably just nix the stealth altogether and use just her as an M1 with the slowdown built in, if I were going to do that. I mean, I'm not saying she's the strongest pill. I'm kind of leaving out the idea of bringing Nurse or Spirit, because those are just basically...
Spirit Freddy would definitely be very good here.
But they're basically good on every map. So, I mean, it's I'm trying to not necessarily say those, and instead talk about, some of the other ones. But Freddy, for sure. I mean, Freddy's good. I mean, like, Freddy can teleport across the map to another gen, so, like, he has map pressure for days on every map, pretty much. And then, same with Nurse, you can just teleport everywhere. I think the only exception might be map, like, the game map, where you just have Hawkins. 2 floors. But, yeah, Hawkins could be a tricky one. But if you're a good Nurse, it's not really going to be a problem for you, I don't think.
Line of sight is imperative for Nurse, and you lose line of sight every other second in that map. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Spirit or Nurse on Hawkins, though. So there's that. I think Freddy could be fine, but yeah, Hawkins is a weird edge case again.
I think I would agree, but line of sight issues can be mitigated with tracking perks appropriately done. So I mean, if you're bringing Nurse and you're going to be on a map like Hawkins, you can bring a bunch of tracking and kind of get past that issue. Just, I don't know, just a thought. But I mean, it's just one idea.
What close range tracking would you be using, though, on Hawkins?
You could use I'm All Ears. You could use the Spies from the Shadows, I guess. Yeah.
There's like only a couple vault locations, though. It's like maybe 5.
Well, anyway, we don't have time
Like,
for arguing, so we're going to have to
pyramid.
go back to
okay.
the rules video. We'll be right back. All right, everyone, we're going to be looking at how the game works from the killer side. Now, killer points. Each survivor is worth a total of 6 points per survivor. First hook is 1 point, second is 2, and third is 3 points. Progressing is only 1 point. Killer bonus points. Every 5,000 blood points is 1 point. Getting to hatch first is also 1 point. A killer can only be used a total of 3 times in the season. Killers have a 150 millisecond ping limit. Also, should a reset occur, the killer and perks must remain the same. Bringing the wrong map is a forced reset, and minus 10 points. Bringing a killer a 4th time is 10 points off, and changing a build after is also 10 points. Not being on the roster is a 5 point and a reset. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here again with Week 4 matchup conference rivals for Dwights One Locker versus Creepy Dead Michaels, the defending champions from Season 0. And we're about to go into the second trial of tonight, which is going to be CDM killing against For Dwights One Locker's survivors. And I have a feeling, that tonight's going to be a slaughter. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm a little bit disappointed in For Dwights One Locker's performance so far, but let's see if they can pull out some interesting moves against this killer. We'll see how they do. I mean, Rejuvenated Trip, we know he's pretty strong. Not as strong as King Pleb, I don't think. Or maybe he just hasn't played as many games as King Pleb. And we are now in game. We got ourselves an Oni. And Oni is not probably a bad choice. There is a lot of open area you can use to run around. So maybe a decent idea to bring in Oni. And he gets his first chase now with Psycho Mantis. Psycho Mantis taking the hit right inside. Gonna get up some of that juicy survivor blood. As we now see him going in chase, going to commit to that chase as well. Not looking behind you, though, going to give me anxiety attacks. Please look behind you and see where the killer is. He is not doing that, though. He's going to continue to run in a straight line, just holding down that controller stick. And he's going to go for a balanced landing play. And Oni just barely whiffs it on him. Almost gets the hit, but not quite. And I believe Oni might actually get him down unless Psycho Mantis drops his pallet early, which he does not do. He did respect it, though, slightly, but it's not going to be enough. Psycho Mantis is going to go down. I would have probably dropped that pallet early to deny a hook, but instead he does go down. And they are going to get a generator done in that time, so a 1-for-1, unless there is another generator being worked on as well. This one's at about 70%. He may actually be able to pressure this one pretty soon. Let's see how he does. Oni is currently stuck at the hook, so we may actually end up having to wait a moment before we see where Oni actually is. But yeah, I think he's chasing around this way somewhere. There we go. He gets the kick on a generator.
Oni's banned.
I was wondering why
Oni's banned.
Oni's oh, God. Really?
Yeah, terror radius problems.
He has no terror radius.
I thought that was reviewed already. There is no terror radius. That's actually a fact. Okay. In that case, we're gonna just, I guess, for the meantime, stick here and watch them play it out. But keeping in mind that Oni is banned from this league for the moment as a result of the recent update that removed his terror radius. Now he does get a hit on Joker, but again, this match is going to become meaningless, quite perhaps, as we see he is going to go for a demon dash.
I'm also surprised that he didn't split off the first chase and try to get his power earlier.
Ooh. I don't know. That is interesting. Yeah, he maybe should have done that, but at the same time, they've only gotten one gen done so far, and they are working on the other ones, 90% right now. So I wonder if anybody's communicating with them, why they are still, if they can go ahead and quit, that'd be amazing. But I guess they're just playing it out. So 2 generators now done. Oni continuing to look around. 3 generators done. These survivors are actually doing pretty well right now against this Oni. Not the slaughter I was looking forward to. Rejuvenated Trip is struggling to actually get kills. He did get 1 hook so far, actually 2 hooks, and is going to continue to use his power. Working his way now back to the hook, going around the TNL loop. Actually, no, this is a regular jungle gym. Gets the down on Psycho Mantis. There is no pallet here, and so that is an unsafe area for survivors. And he's going to get another down on Joker as well.
Those are DCs.
Oh, there we go. There's the DCs. That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the DCs because of the ban on the killer. I'm going to go ahead and report rejuvenated. No, I'm just kidding. That was just a misclick. And did we have fun? I had a moderate amount of fun on that one. I would have liked to see it play out, but, you know, it is what it is. So I suppose we're going to have to go and reset. So we're going to go back to the lobby, and we'll be right back with these guys in a second. So, Sam, just keep me updated on what we're going to do to the score, or if you just want to go ahead and do it yourself. I don't know what's going to happen for that. But, oof, that is unfortunate.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
Yeah,
that is not ideal.
I'm actually surprised that CDM, if they were, I'm pretty sure they were privy to the Oni ban. If I'm not mistaken, everybody was on the captain's team. So it is surprising to see them make such a mistake like that, actually. Like, really surprising. I'm kind of eating some of my words from earlier where I'm saying they're always prepared and paying attention, and apparently not paying attention and going to get a foul as a result. I don't know what it's going to be or if they're even going to implement it, but I guess we'll have to wait and find out.
Might just be a breakdown in communication or all. I mean, it's a bummer because I love Oni. I think they're a really fun and fantastic killer, but it's unfortunate that I actually had an Oni game earlier and they had a terror radius, but I think it's just intermittent terror radius is the issue. Like randomly the terror radius will just stop. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it would be a fantastic upgrade for Oni to be added to the list of stealth killers in this game, but might just be a bit OP. Can you imagine if there was an add-on for Demon Dash that made him lose his terror radius?
I could imagine that, and then I could cry as a survivor and be like, why don't do this Tinkerer to me? Tinkerer. Yeah, I guess technically that would count as something like that. Tinkerer is one good example of that for sure. Yeah, I was wondering if maybe they would buff Insidious to make it where you can move around and actually keep your stealth. Oh, like accidental buff, not a deliberate buff. Anyway.
You know, that would be a really cool change to Insidious. The longer you sit in one spot, the longer you can charge up your terror radius being gone. So like you sit at the beginning of the match for two full minutes, but you get like 30 seconds of no terror radius. That'd be
cool. That would be so cool. Like up to a maximum of 30 seconds or something like that, where it just keeps see, then it doesn't become a meme. You know, then you don't have to just camp. You can kind of camp and then you can leave. That'd be really cool. And they aren't readying up again. Sick.
I mean, I'd imagine it's a pretty easy fix. It's like, hey, you can't use Oni. It's like, oh, okay, I'll go use one of these other 15 killers that I know. I wouldn't be too worried about it.
Given the performance of their first game with the survivors, I don't think they are worried about it. If I had to be real, I don't think they're that concerned.
10 points off.
10 point reduction
points off. Ouch.
But they should be allowed to change their killer and their build because it's not viable.
Correct.
Bet.
Naturally.
Oh, we're loading in. Easy.
We are, and we're not going to do the rules video again. We'll just sit here and talk about how disappointed we are. No. No one likes the rules except for me. I'm the only one that likes the rules, apparently.
Really? You like the rules? Name every rule.
I mean, I can't do that. I didn't say I am in love with the rules. I said I like them. It's just it's a platonic thing. Anyway.
So Valentine's is tomorrow, you know.
Right. Are you hinting at something?
What'd you get
suggesting?
Me, Poggy?
Nope. We're not doing this. We talked about this. We're not doing it live. We are not. No. Do not start with me, Rue. I will fire you live right now and end the Pogard. I will cancel Pogard.
Anything but that. Oh my goodness. What is going on? Pogard.
I don't know.
We haven't even had a Pogard high five today.
No, we have not.
No Pogard high five.
Oh,
there we go.
As I live
there
and breathe.
Let's
just do it. Let's get it out of the way now, please.
Hey.
There's your Pogger high five. All right, folks, we are back in right now with the Week 4 matchups with these rivals for Dwights One Locker and Creepy Daddy Michaels. Creepy Daddy Michaels now again killing and a Billy. Ow, my ears. My ears have been destroyed by the Billy. He is going to be running across the map immediately. I mean, Billy is very similar to Oni, so I'm not surprised. And, ooh, he is already chasing after... Who was that? That was this guy. That was this guy right here. David. And David does take the hit inside the TNL loop. Is going to work his way around to the T. And Billy following in kind. Not really. Ooh, a little bit of a mind game. Billy turning the tightest hair radius, and Joker goes down right before getting to the window. Already an early down for Rejuvenated. And we also see the survivors working on generators, but they're a little bit behind. They're not going to get a 1-for-1 on this. It's going to be a delayed reaction from them, and they may actually get chased off of their generator before they're actually able to do anything. Let's see what he's got here. Now, we also see, I believe that was Corrupt Intervention that we saw working his way. And we see a lack of Ruin, so maybe he's got Pop Goes the Weasel. Currently chasing after a Psycho Mantis, who is going to go down. Jeff on the ground right now. Very nicely done. And another down. These survivors are definitely struggling right now against Billy. This could be the slaughter we were waiting for, folks. Alex, the plug, is about 50% through his generator. We're now getting the unhook. Felix getting the unhook, and I think waiting to heal at the hook, which I don't know if it's ideal to heal right at the hook. Maybe. I mean, if the killer goes right back to it, you could be in trouble. But I guess at worst, you just leave the hook before he gets there. I don't know. Anyway, he gets a second hook now. Psycho Mantis on first hook. And this is second hook for Rejuvenated. Very nice so far with no gens done. He seems to be camping the area, waiting to spot someone before he moves out. And, a sprint burst going to give him the distance he needs to get away from that nice M1. As we see now, I believe David going in for the unhook. A generator about 90%. Francis going to maybe eat it right here. Let's see how he does. Tries to get around the corner and goes down right before the pallet. Well done by Billy getting another down. David may be suffering a similar fate. Not able to get the unhook just yet. And once again, David is going to be in the chase, and it'll be on second hook if he gets hooked here. But I think Billy's going to abandon that chase and instead go pick up the Ragnarok Alex off the ground, put him on a hook. That'll be first hook for Ragnarok. 3 hooks total for Rejuvenated Trip. Billy going to charge his power and work his way back to the Killer Shack, it seems. And, oh my god, he almost gets the long hit there on Joker, but not quite able to secure it. Joker does do an early pallet. We do see Enduring, though, which is very, very interesting.
Is this the first time we've seen Billy?
This is one of the first times I think we've seen Billy, yes. And I haven't seen a lot of Enduring either. I think we've only seen like 1 or 2. Last game we saw a Enduring, didn't we? Last matchup.
I think so. I love Enduring right now. The way the game is bugged, you can appear on the other side of the pallet. So you get a hit, you get spawned on the same side as the pallet of the survivor, you just get another hit.
Sounds like you're encouraging exploits. So I'm just going to ignore that. Anyway, so...
It's not an exploit.
The way the game is bugged, quote unquote. Anyway, he's going to now kick this pallet that was dropped by Joker, AX400, work his way around to the outside of this other loop. Who is he going to actually get him? He's mind gaming a little bit. Joker is going to get a Spirit Fury Enduring there. Very nice. Going down out the window. That Spirit Fury Enduring was beautiful. Billy played that absolutely phenomenally and is going to get that free down, basically, on David, who's going to be on second hook. Francis, sorry. I kept calling him Felix. Yes, I did. I am sorry. I get them mixed up, okay? I'm sorry. Francis. I called Francis Felix. Wait, did I call Felix Francis or wait, who is this?
You called Felix Francis.
I did? I thought this was Felix. No,
this is Felix.
I thought this
called him Francis.
Okay, I got it. This is Francis. I am super confused now. But anyway, 3 generators now getting done. Francis, Felix, in the chase with Billy. You guys got me all turned around now. And he's actually holding his position quite well. However, working his way to a dead zone. This is not good. He may go down right here. He's trying to take him to the edge of the map, I think, to waste as much of his time as possible to get him back to the hook. But the hook is literally right there. So I don't know if this was really a waste of his time or not. So yes, everybody knows the build now. It's Corrupt, Pop, and Daring, and Fury, sorry. Spirit Fury. And he does kick that gen with Pop as well. And 2 gens remaining. They are almost done on this one. I think it's at 90% or like 99 to perhaps. Checking in on Billy again, working his way around to the outside, but not leaving too far from the hook. So he's kind of proxy camping again. This is something I saw Rejuvenated Chip doing earlier. He was proxy camping the hook, not to necessarily camp it, but to wait to see a survivor come in for the save and then go for that chase, rather than kind of guessworking as to where he's going to go, which I think is sort of wise. It seems like a wise thing to do. And he does now chase after Jeff, who goes down immediately. You're not even able to get to a pallet, this guy. The poor guy. Second hook as well. So far now, 6 hooks for Rejuvenated Trip.
He's got somewhat of a strung-together 3-gen in this area, too, so there's no reason to leave.
He does have a nice 3-gen here. Yeah, I do believe there is a 3-gen. You are absolutely right, and that is worth pointing out, too. And now, again, second hook for Psycho Mantis, and Did he not see David crouching there? He didn't see David crouching right back there. Okay. I don't know if you guys saw that. Bottom left corner, David was crouching right there. So, Ragnarok Alex, so he goes for that instead. He was injured, so it wasn't necessarily the wrong play. You got lucky that there was someone else there, so it worked out. 1 gen remaining, though. And there is the David that we just saw crouching right by those logs. And David's going to go down. Yeah, that's a down on David. Unfortunately, there is no safety over here. This is basically a dead zone. There's no pallet or anything back there anymore. And they are resetting, and that is going to be third hook for Joker AX400. Psycho Mantis also injured and still on third hook. Again, though, I've seen this a few times, where we see survivors who are injured and are also on third hook not getting the one to be reset. I think they should have reset him first. But maybe they just decided to split up and try it somewhere else. So I don't know. Let's see what they do. It does seem like he's being followed by Freelix. He's being followed by Freelix. And he is going to go ahead and reset heal him.
I swear, Poggy.
Shut up. Now, as we continue to watch, Ace is going to be taking the chase, going up the stairs into the main building. Now, this main building can be pretty strong at times, but he is going to use this to get a balanced landing play. Now, he's already done that once against Oni, so he does know that's what Ace would be running at that point. But it doesn't matter. He now changes over back to Freelix, and Freelix is going to be chasing around the inside of the... I believe this is going to be a regular jungle gym with the long wall, these sort of half shack walls. And he does get through it very nicely, able to get away from the killer. Ragnarok's not committing to that. Instead, going to go try to find the one injured survivor. I think this is him right here, injured, running around. We see the blood on the floor, drip, drip, drip. Going to try to get Ace on the ground very soon. And Ace is not looking behind him, so I don't know what to say about that. There is no pallet there. This is going to be a down for Alex the Plug. First hook, though, which, you know, good and bad. It gives the survivors a chance to potentially finish off this generator that's over here, but are they going to get the time? No, this is only at 20%. He could very easily interrupt this. It depends on if he goes to the right place, and yeah, he goes right back here.
Like, it's good that, you know, they weren't death hook, but yeah, I think this is GG.
I think so, too. And there goes the Pop Goes Weasel, regressing that from the 20% down to, like, nothing. And, again, going to be chasing after Jeff. Jeff is doing a pretty decent job of getting out of the killer's position, but he does do a little mind game. Jeff getting caught out, going to get a hit right here at the pallet. Does get a Spirit Fury as well. This could be another double hit back-to-back for Jeff. Jeff going down before he can even get to the next pallet. Unlucky. That is sad. Big oof. Holy shiza. And that is going to be third hook now for Jeff as well. Ragnarok, Alex the Plug, the only 2 remaining survivors, and the generator not even hardly touched. She also sees Hatch and gives a little nod to us on the camera to say, yeah, I see it. But that gen is, wow, pretty close to completed.
Whoa.
So they do finish all the gens. And one of them gets inside of a locker to hide. However, I think this could be a down. Oh, no, but Rejuvenated getting caught on the tree. Very well played by Freelix. He does end up taking a hit at the pallet. But it ultimately goes down. Yeah, I kind of saw that coming. There's not a whole lot out here. So there's really nothing you could do. Again, what we saw different here from these survivors versus CDM is that they just didn't stick to safe zones nearly as much. CDM stuck to a lot of the TNL loops, the safe loops, and just played it a lot safer in that regard, staying on the outside, whereas we saw a lot of these players here kind of going inside too often, and the inside areas don't have a ton of safety compared to the outside. And the only one remaining now is Alex the Plug, who again was the only one on 1 hook. And he is going to go for an exit gate. He may actually be able to get out. Because he is going to get this hatch, which is something he kind of has to do. So he gets the hatch point, and yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to get out. Alex the Plug making his escape just barely as Philly comes racing in to try and catch him. Wow, I just burped. Sorry about that. Yes, Freelix, and thank you for listening. I appreciate that. Somebody heard me. Oh, my goodness.
Dang.
So while it wasn't a complete 4K, still, that score for Rejuvenated is going to be pretty impressive. Pretty impressive indeed. And his build, not too shabby either. I really liked that. Corrupt Intervention, Enduring with Spirit Fury, and of course Pop Goes the Weasel for the regression, and it just works. It just worked so well. Now, he didn't have a lot of tracking, so he had to rely on game sense to figure out tracking. But, you know, if you got the game sense, you can probably pull it off. But yeah, this build was very fun for me anyway. I liked watching it. And I think the score is correct. So, well, I mean, yeah, and what was the add-ons here? Doom Engravings and Mother's Helpers. I'm not exactly sure about those right now, but we'll take a look at it a little bit later. In just a moment, we're going to do our post-game review of Trial number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been watching Week 4 matchup conference rivals for Dwights 1 Locker versus the defending champions, Creepy Daddy Michaels. And this was Trial number 2. Here's your post-game review. You've been watching Vigo's Court, and this is what you witnessed. We saw 5 generators getting done this trial. Fantastic showing, actually, by these survivors, but only 1 escape. Sad face, sad panda, but 10 hooks from the killer. Phenomenal job by this killer, and 3 kills. I'm actually impressed that this team was able to pull out 5 generators against CDM, 16-24 in trial number 2, favoring Creepy Daddy Michaels by a pretty decent margin, 8 points ahead. Creepy Daddy Michaels leading going into trial number 3. Now, the actual score is quite a bit further ahead than 8 points, but that was just trial number 2 score. So here we go. We're going to look at some post-game highlights. Rue, take it away, sir.
So my first thoughts are, there was one time we talked about, I think the previous time actually, we had, I think it was probably the only time we've seen Billy was another Spirit Fury Enduring build. And I love this build personally for pubs. And I said at that point, I don't think it's good for comp because they're just going to start throwing pallets. I don't know why they didn't throw pallets early and deny the Spirit Fury value, because they know what they were going for. So I forget what the plate's called, but it makes your chainsaw go faster, if I remember correctly, but also increases the charge time for it. However, the helpers add-on, if you take a pallet hit, it makes your charge go faster. So the entire idea is eat pallets, take stuns, chainsaw them anyway. And I like that, and it's really cool and fun. I never have seen it work in this environment before. I think it's partially just because they didn't throw pallets early. Normally, you will throw pallets early when you see this. And we didn't see that. I think he had at least 3 Spirit Fury procs, which honestly is kind of gas for the killer, for being honest. That is a lot of value. To be fair though, again, I've said this before, enduring right now is oddly good because of how the killer spawns on the other side of the pallet sometimes after a pallet hit. If you take the enduring and they get hit on the first try and you just spawn over there, you get a free hit. It's kind of not okay, but it's also just the way the game is right now until they decide to fix it. I don't even know how that happened. I don't even know why you spawn on the other side of the pallet. I can't begin to work that through in my mind. Also, that is really cute that they nodded at the hatch there. I like that. I can appreciate the showmanship. And yeah, again, you said it. The survivors did really, really good getting that last gen done. I was not expecting that. Also, I totally thought Felix was going to bite it right there. The fact that he didn't was kind of amazing. But see, like right here, you really should have thrown that pallet early because you don't know how many pallets he's eaten if he doesn't have Spirit Fury up. Because if he had Spirit Fury up right there, you're dead. You're dead. Instead, the Felix was able to lead a bit longer. They got lucky. So I don't know. Just kind of unfortunate. The one man escape was impressive though. I would not have expected that to happen. So GG's to, and I believe that is Alex the Plug's first time appearing in Vigo. So well played. Congrats on the escape. I thought, I'm also kind of surprised that Billy didn't go back, because I think they went back to the exit gate on the other side instead of going directly to the hatch. I would have gone directly to the hatch to close it and then checked the exit gates, but I don't know. Hindsight bias 2020 in that situation. Billy did really good though. They got the quick saws, I say quick saw even though you've literally got an add-on that makes it slower to charge up for the instant down, but still really well played. Had a lot of good saws. Were they playing is Trip is console, right? So playing Billy on console is kind of an accomplishment in my opinion. The reaction time is a lot more delayed than I would like. So the fact they were able to play on console was really impressive, if I'm being honest. Good showing. Good showing from Billy.
By the way,
what?
T-shirt idea, Freelix. Just a thought.
Oh,
anyway.
My word. Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. That was an impressive showing by Billy for sure.
Yeah. Survivors did good too for the most part. Like again, getting a one-man escape against CDM is definitely good.
I mean, yes, but also no. I mean, they made a lot of egregious errors, like going out to a bunch of dead zones a couple of times. Now, I understand maybe there was some strategy to one of them, the one where he went down at the corner, but at the same time, there was a hook right there, so it wasn't really going to waste that much of his time to walk to that hook. And, of course, Billy can just chainsaw away across the map and doesn't really have a ton of value. Like, if it were some other killers where you have to run across the map and you're slow as crap, then maybe I could see that working out. And, of course, there was no hook there. Maybe it would also work. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying they performed absolute crap. I mean, they did pretty good overall. Able to at least get all the gens done and everything. Maybe it took them a little bit long. They made some mistakes at the loops, and they got out of place quite a few times. Could have definitely done better. And, of course, all you have to do is compare it to the first game with CDMs on Survivor, where they just completely just didn't get a single down. And that's really what you got to compare it to, is that kind of play. So, you know.
Did you get an invite from CDM yet?
Yes, I did.
Okay, bet. Okay, I just making sure.
Ooh. Guess who's killing now? Freaky JT on killer this time.
Spicy.
And is this a different Survivor? iCloudy Days coming in? I remember them as well. I think they're coming in as a replacement for one of the other Survivors, Ragnarok Alex the Plug, and Joker AX400 is here, and Freaky JT, of course, on Killer. So that is what we're looking at right now.
Seems good to me. I haven't. Have we seen Freaky JT kill before?
Have we? Yes, I think so. A couple times.
Oh, we have. Okay.
I think so.
I just usually it's King Pleb, so
Unless I'm grossly mistaken, and we haven't, and I'm just imagining things, but I'm pretty sure we have actually seen them do it. So let's go over. I want to see if he's actually on the leaderboard at all. No, he's not on the leaderboard. So if he has played, he hasn't played enough to be on the leaderboard. Let me look
Imagine
at the
playing enough to be on the
results.
leaderboard.
Imagine, yeah. Freaky JT. I'm going to look him up here really quick. Let's see what we got. So Creepy Daddy Michael's killer. Yes, yes. No, he hasn't played this season. Maybe it was preseason that I saw him. Maybe that's what it was.
That could be. That could be. I was about to say, I don't remember seeing him. So
Yeah.
I'm down for
He might have
seeing
been like
some rotation
auditioning.
of killers.
You know? Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So what
what
do we
do you
got,
play
ladies and
here?
gentlemen, talking about here? What's going on in the chat? Freaky as killer
Clown.
Pog. Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like
sure.
I've seen Freaky kill. I really do. Like, I feel like I'm not going crazy when I say that. So if it was either like he did it in preseason, or maybe he was in some kind of scrim or something that I saw. I don't know what it was, but I saw him at some point. And I know the whole game plan. I'm a genius. Ninetales. Do you? What's their game plan then, huh? You tell me. So
yeah, I want to
let's
see a clown.
You want to see a clown. Let's say that
want
you are
a clown.
CDM right now. You have this lead, 42-18, and you're saying bring a clown.
Yes.
I could see it. But do you think clown is throwaway for CDM?
I probably. I don't know. You don't want it. You don't want 100% throwaway, because like 4 Dwights 1 Locker is on Survivor, and the points that you can get are definitely in favor of Survivor. So you don't want to do 100% throwaway, because it's only what is the lead? It is
42-18.
26 points.
Yep.
Yeah, so you don't want to do a complete throwaway, because you could actually close that lead pretty hard, but I think you could get enough hooks with Clown to mitigate it to where you can keep a lead, or a strong enough lead that your final trial will keep you ahead. So it's not quite
Jay
it's
Warrior.
not quite throwaway, but
Oh, I was just going to Jay Warrior in chat, King Club Warrior. He says, last season, Poggy, he played Pig and Deathslinger. So that's what I'm remembering. Thank you, King Club. Appreciate that. So that was last season. Okay, that makes sense.
Bet.
So I do remember him killing, just not this season. That helps.
and that would be why I wouldn't remember, because I wasn't for that.
Well,
I'm
you're
not
here
part
now.
of the OG Cool People Squad.
By the way, speaking of OJ Cool People Squad, I don't know what we're talking about now. I'm actually completely segueing to something else, not related.
What?
I am almost done with Red Dead Redemption 2. I've been loving the crap out of it. I never played the storyline before. It's so good. I'm in the epilogue right now, and I was thinking about Dead by Daylight while I was playing it, because there was some parts of it where I was like chasing down people on horses, and they were looping me around stuff, and I was like, wait, am I playing Dead by Daylight? I got a little confused for a moment. I don't know. I play so much of this game that everything reminds me of it. Everything. Like, I can't get it out of my life.
Oh my word! Red Dead Redemption 2, the new competitor to Dead by Daylight.
On your horse. Yeah, Horse by Daylight. So
Yeah.
we're going to go into this last rules video. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we're going to be looking at how the Survivors side earns their points, and let's look at all their objective score points, counting down from 5 generators. 5 and 4 are worth 1 point each, 3 and 2 gens are worth 2 points each, and 1 is worth 3 points. 1 escape is worth 1 point, 2 escapes is worth 2 points, 3rd escape is worth 4 points, and the 4th escape a total of 5 points. Every 16,000 scored is worth 1 point. First to hatch also gets 1 point. Survivor penalties: bringing banned or limited items, perks, or add-ons is minus 10 points. Changing build after reset is also minus 10 points. And starting with the wrong skin or avatar or a non-listed roster player is minus 5 points as well. All right, folks, we're going to be looking at how the Survivors are going to eat on our Valentine's tomorrow. Oh, sorry, week matchup. Conference rivals, 4 Dwights 1 Locker, Creepy Daddy Michaels, the defending champions. So this is what we're going to be seeing. Trial number 3 in just a moment. We have just now loaded in. Fabulous indeed. Freaky JT going to be on Killer, which is, of course, strange. I didn't expect to see that, but he did kill last season, like we said. And he's playing a nurse.
What?
And Is he like an
What?
secret expert nurse? Have we been sleeping on this guy? Freaky JT is now already in a chase. He have found survivors instantly. These survivors also jumping on a couple of gens instantly, too. Fang, Cloudy Day is going to be the first one to chase. Nurse is struggling, though, to get hits, doing her whiffs, which is actually going to make her take longer to get out of her fatigue. But she does finally land a hit inside the pallet on Cloudy Days. I'm actually surprised to see CDM bringing in such a strong killer.
Yep. I don't know what's happening.
Me neither,
I'm broken.
by the way. I am also broken. And he is now chasing these survivors off the generator, but we do not hear a Hex Ruin. So if he does have Hexes, I wonder what they are. I don't know if he does or not. I'm not looking down to see. I'm going to keep it to myself until we know. Now, we do see generator at 80% there, 85%, something like that. And the nurse working her way up to the top of this building, and a Hex does go down. It's haunted ground. She almost gets the hit on Joker, I believe that was. And that could have been an easy down. Actually, I think that was Alex the Plug, sorry. And Freelix over here working on his generator, also pretty far along. This nurse is currently struggling. CDM is definitely struggling with this nurse right now. Only having gotten one hit
CDM,
and not a down.
They've got to be trolling.
No, I doubt it. CDM does not really troll.
Why would you bring Nurse? You have such a huge lead. I don't understand.
It may be
They
the
have
case
no
that
nurse mains on their.
I was gonna
there's
say
no one on that team that plays nurse.
You're
I was gonna say
kidding.
maybe they just don't have any strong killers that play nurse. Really, that they don't just. I don't think I've really ever seen them play nurse, even in last season. That was like, other than a burner. So maybe they're just burning a nurse.
If you're a team like CDM, then you have rep. Go find a nurse main. I'm so confused.
Ooh,
Wow.
and a one down on Cloudy Days. That'll be first hook, I believe. No, second hook. He actually did get hook on one of the guy, Alex the Plug, earlier. And is going to kick the gen, I believe, with Pop Goes Away. Actually, she flicks gens. Maybe Freaky JT's been practicing, and he's using this as an opportunity to practice his nurse games as well. Like, you're looking at it that way. You said they don't have nurse mains. Maybe he's trying to become better and main nurse in the competitive scene, and that's why he's here today bringing it against this particular team. I do worry, though. I do worry that this team could end up closing the gap on the score. And if they do, that could spell trouble for CDM in the last game. They're going to have to obviously get the same result as the first one. 4-man out and no hooks. But we'll see how they do. Currently, Ragnarok Alex still in the chase with the nurse. The nurse, again, whiffing on her attacks, which is going to make her fatigue quite a bit longer. She does eventually get the down on Ragnarok Alex. So what you really want to see, and I think this is something that was established, you really want to see the nurse getting those like one blink hits, but those are tricky and hard to do. And if you're not a nurse main, you are going to struggle with that. So he is going for the double blinks. 3 generators done. This nurse has only gotten 3 hooks to 3 gens. I don't know if she's going to even be able to get a snowball. Freaky JT is kind of struggling. I would have expected quite a bit more. And now out in the middle of nowhere with nothing out here, nobody out here, not even seeing a gen worked on. It almost looks like, and I'm not trying to insult anybody, it looks like almost a beginner nurse player just learning how to nurse. And I'm not trying to be a dick. It's just what it sounds like to me. And oh my gosh, he does get it down, and Freaky JT as an expose happens. I'm sorry, and Joker.
Uh-oh.
Whoa, what just happened there?
What's that totem behind him?
And the totem is Devour Hope. He's got Devour Hope right now. These survivors are kind of panicked right now. As you can see, they're all kind of hiding for the moment, trying to probably talk in comms for a moment to think of what they're going to do in response to this. Now, we do see her going in immediately for a totem that she sees over here. Is that one of the lit totems? I believe it probably is. No, it's not a lit totem. So why are you doing this one? That is a curious artifact.
That looks like a lit totem, though.
It wasn't, though, was it? No, it's not. I mean, she
Yeah,
still has... Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay. I guess it was, but it actually was Haunted Ground. So now we have Haunted Ground on top of 4 stacks of Devour Hope. So we saw Undying, Devour Hope, and Haunted Ground. So this nurse, even though she's kind of struggling as nurse in general, she's now going to just be getting one hit down after one hit down, which is, I mean, if there's one way to kind of get it is to do it, that way, I guess. 3 generators done. These drivers kind of have to rethink their strategy right now and maybe look for that Devour Hope.
Oh,
but again,
man.
Haunted Ground is still active, and Devour Hope's at 4 stacks, so that is a problem. And God, she is so fast at moving. She's so fast at moving. I cannot keep up with this killer. I don't want to just stay on the nurse the whole time, but Ragnarok Alex is going to go down. And they are trying to reset. And, oh, she's got the 5 stacks as well, so she's getting some... We are seeing some Moris, folks. Ooh. Beautiful. Oh, good night, Ragnarok.
Oh, that's amazing.
Wow. 5 stacks of Devour Hope. This team is potentially screwed here right now.
Oh, my word. That is spicy. I love this.
So currently, the nurse looking for another player, almost able to get the hit on him, but not quite. Ace is going to get away just a little bit. Is she going to be able to catch up and get him down, though? That is now the concern. She is working her way back to Ace again and teleporting through, but kind of messing it up, but does get the down on the second blink immediately. Is she going to do another Mori? No, she's going for the hook on this one because it is a 3rd hook player, so it does make sense to go for that. Might as well. And actually, the nurse's Mori animation is actually the longest of all the killers. Am I not correct about that?
Oh yeah, it's a long one. It's a long one.
See, it's actually less time to just go to the hook. So yeah, that's exactly what she does. She gets the hook, and that is now 2nd death. 2 generators still remaining. These survivors still working on it, though. But unfortunately, Fang jumps out right in front of the nurse and goes down immediately. iCloudy Day's gonna be on 2nd hook, or perhaps be Mori. It's gonna depend on the nurse's decision. She goes for the Mori kill on Fang Min. That is unfortunate. Let's try to watch it. Oh dear God, that is disturbing.
Monk
I don't know.
TOS.
I don't know, man. Oh, God. Freaky Secretly a God Nurse? Maybe, because, I mean, I was skeptical. I was skeptical at first because he came out struggling, and oh, no, he finds David, too. David can't even get a single bit of luck. Oh, gonna go down as well, and we're gonna see yet another Mori, aren't we? Oh, he's struggling to get the prompt, though. He's gonna have to pick up David and then move him right. Yeah, you're gonna move him over. Perfect. Yeah, let's get a good view on that. Now he's trying to get it again. Come on, there it is. Flip that POS over. Get that, choke him to death. Yeah. F David. F David. Well played, CDM. Secret God Nurse. Oh my goodness. 5 stacks of Devour Hope that whole time. Wow. This
Sleepy
build,
time, David.
Didn't I say that we were to see Haunted Ground, Hex Devour Hope, Hex Undying, and Pop Goes the Weasel? I told you that this guy, this build could potentially be meta. It came out strong. Now, did it give the best score? No. He only got 6 hooks and a couple of Mori kills. But again, those kills are gonna add up. It's gonna add to the score, and so we don't want to count it out. It's quite huge, actually. We'll see how it plays out with the final score on that one. Trial number 3, we're looking at, yeah, wow. Okay, so can you comment really quick on this? Because I talked about this a lot. I talked about it a lot.
Yeah. I personally am a fan of Infectious Fright on Nurse. However, they did get quite a couple of hits out of Pop. I don't know if it was entirely necessary, but I guess if you don't want gens to just fly off the shelf, and you do need to wait for your Devour Hope to get 3 stacks before you really start to go to town, it kind of makes sense. I can understand it. I just personally prefer Infectious Fright when I play Nurse because I want that early snowball. They weren't going for an early snowball though. They were going for the build up, and they got it. It paid off. That was very exciting.
I am shocked.
I can't imagine a better finish for Nurse. That was photo finish. You got 3 Moris.
Wow. Let's go into the post game. We'll be right back. My goodness, that was phenomenal. So Here's what we just witnessed. This is week 4 matchups, conference rivals for Dwights One Locker versus defending champion CDM. I am in utter shock awe. I actually thought Freaky JT was doing quite badly at first, struggling to get hits, but he kept them at 3 gens in trial number 3 the whole time, pretty much, and 0 escapes. Of course, not even able to get hatched at the end because the nurse found him too quick. 9 hooks by this killer. Phenomenal. 4 kills. Well played. Absolutely great. 6-22. Creepy Daddy Michael's strong score in trial number 3. They basically got this game in the bag going into trial number 4. They're leading, and here are your post-game highlights. That was shocking. That was shocking.
That was an interesting lead up because I personally put nurse as, you know, something to keep in mind when you really need to clutch something out. I did not know that they did not have a dedicated nurse player, so I guess that does make a lot more sense. That said, I think someone in chat already pointed it out. I love high risk, high reward builds like this because this is definitely, I would argue, high risk. Because what happens if they totally miss your haunted grounds? Instead, like, they got haunted grounds twice, which is kind of insane to me. There's also a 50% chance that I would say you also just get, you know, Devour Hope and Devour Hope, and then you're stuck with just nothing, which is kind of unfortunate. But it definitely paid off. They weren't perfect on it. They did miss a couple blinks here and there, but overall they had some really good hits, really good blinks. Just occasionally right there, just occasionally missing and whiffing, which I don't know if that is, again, with the update and, you know, the hitboxes being an issue, because I've definitely run into that problem a couple times, but didn't seem to hold them back too badly. They got right back on the chase and, yeah, made sure it worked. Again, Devour. Man, that was spicy. What's even worse is for them, David saw that totem, was like, hey guys, there's still a totem lit, and it was going to cleanse it. And the nurse immediately instant downs him off that totem and hooks him right there. They break the totem, and it's haunted ground. It's just like the worst case scenario in every situation for the survivors. And the best part, when you go back and look at the totem spots, you want to know where that last totem was for Devour Hope? In the top floor of Ironworks of Misery. Hidden in the corner. It was the absolute perfect spot for it.
That happened to me yesterday on this exact map, by the way, on pubs. I had the same build. I ran this exact build on Pig and had pretty much the same result. And the totem was up there inside the Ironworks, the Devour Hope. They got the other one. They got Undying off, but Devour Hope was up there, and they just never found it. So, yeah, that was that was tough. That was tough to watch for sure. Woo!
Oh,
I mean,
man. That was a great turn of events. That was a fantastic turn of events. Also,
looking at it like that,
thank you for making Freaky JT a jury member.
Oh, nice. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. Gifted sub from Pretty Good Fang. Welcome to the jury, Freaky JT.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good of them, you might even say.
You might say that. You also might not. I don't know.
Wow, okay. Rude. I think Nurse needs to come put you to sleep.
No, I mean, like I said, when I first started watching this, I was a little concerned that the nurse was struggling, and then she just built up. She just built up and built up and built up, and then just suddenly 5 stacks of Devour Hope. There's nothing you can do. Is it just starts destroying everybody, and it's just game over. It's like, oh my god, this is awful. How do you make this stop? Please make it stop. Like, that's what the survivors were probably thinking. Please make this stop.
Yep.
And I loved every minute of that after that.
They had a chance, because if the totem that they broke after, when David got unhooked off that, if that happened to have been Devour Hope, this would have been probably a fairly different game, but it wasn't. Oh, yeah. I wonder what would have happened. They might have actually got another gen done, but yeah, because it was right before this when it happened, and they were all 1 hook apiece, and then the David got hooked, and so they were all 1 hook apiece with 3 stacks. And if they had broken it then, they actually might have been able to get out. Just wasn't in the cards for him this time. And what can I say? I love watching Nurse Mori repeatedly. Unfortunately, we don't have the Mori bug for Nurse where it mispositions them, but oh well, we can hope for another time when that might come back.
I kind of want to do
you know
some math. I know the math can't be that hard. I could probably do it in a couple of minutes. I just haven't done it yet. But I want to do math on what the odds of you breaking Devour Hope on the second try are. Because when you have that Haunted Ground protecting it, your odds go down to basically 1/3 for that one. But if you combine it with the odds of the... Obviously, you have the protected from Undying. So I guess it would be 1/3 and then... But what if Haunted Ground goes first? See, that's the thing. I want to, like, kind of jot out every scenario possible that could happen from that, which would be Haunted Ground, 2 chances, right? Because you can break it twice. And then Devour Hope could go after Undying. So, like, I wonder what the odds of that are in general. It must be 1/3 after Undying, I suppose. And then 50-50.
I believe... Yeah, I think that's how it works. That sounds about right.
So you called it high risk, high reward. I don't know if it actually is high risk anymore because of the Undying protecting it once adds another layer to it. And then the Haunted Ground protects it even further where, yes, it's risk. I'll give you that. It's definitely risk because you're going to lose your Devour Hope possibly at some point. I just don't know that it's high risk anymore.
I think it is still because I don't think it's that much different from Ruin Undying in the old version because you could cleanse 4 totems. Like, it's not that hard to cleanse totems overall. It's just whether you dedicate to it or not.
Well, the thing is, the way I look at it is this, because the survivors they're not necessarily going to immediately go for totems unless it's a pretty good squad, because they always go for totems. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Anyway.
Stop touching my totems.
No, it's... If there's no Hex Ruin, there's no reason to, like, seek out totems right away until you, like, see them lit and you're like, hang on a minute, maybe this is Devour Hope. We should probably start getting rid of these. But by that time, maybe you're already too far in. Maybe there's already 2 hooks, 3 hooks, possibly you're exposed already. And now it's like, oh, we should have maybe thought about this earlier on. And that's where I think it's slightly less risk than Hex Ruin, because you see Hex Ruin immediately. Like, you know you have Hex, you just unlock, you just stop touching the gen, and you're like, oh, Hex Ruin's up, we should probably go get it. You know, so I don't know. It's tricky to explain it that way, but maybe that makes some sense.
It's also just totem spawns too, because sometimes you get totem spawns that are absolutely amazing, and then the other times they're like, there's a tree next to it. And apparently that counts as camouflage. Oh, I hate those totems so much.
Yeah, everybody does. Yeah, that's...
Especially when it spawns on the opposite side of me, so I know survivors spawn next to it, and it's sitting next to a tree. I'm just like...
I hate that. I hate when totems go down basically immediately, and you're like, I just started the game, I couldn't even pressure the totem, and it's gone. You know?
Mm-hmm. I have heard a lot
I saw the... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I've seen a lot of interesting ideas for doing totem reworks, like having them spawn into the game over time and different stuff like that. I wouldn't mind a totem rework inherently.
I like the one you sent me, which was the Otofu one, I believe it was. That was a good one. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh,
one.
you mean the,
remember that one?
The recent fan one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was also a really good one and well thought out too. I don't imagine they're going to immediately go to one of these ideas, but I think totems could be reworked to be more interesting than they are right now. It's, I don't know, matter of opinion. I mean, personally, I would love if we had a dedicated Hex totem slot for our perks. We could take a normal build and then have a Hex for free. But the devs would be like, that's overpowered. You can't do that. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm sad now. Thanks.
Yeah, I liked the general idea of just Hex totems getting weaker. Like, you have, like you said, one slot, and then it just gets weaker as you break more totems. Is that what you're saying? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I like that one too.
It generates over time. I like the one for Noed too that was spicy, because it's like Noed spawns in, or like, you know, once all gens are completed, the entity blocks the totems that are remaining so that you can't break them. So it's like a punishment for not doing them in the game, but it's a diminished effect of Noed. So I don't know.
And
I think it'd be cute.
Finally, readied up, going into trial number 4. I'm finally going to get to see this last game. These survivors are super strong. I want to see them do it again. I want to see some more of that game 1 stuff. 0 hooks. Let's see it. Sorry, Guildspire. I love you, brother. But I kind of want to see them do it again because it was so fun. Here we go. Hello, everyone. We're going to be going over these rules and explaining how they work. So, 2 teams will go head-to-head, playing each role twice for a total of 4 trials. In play order is home team kills, survives, and then kills. In addition, teams get points in the trial for objectives, escapes, and hooks. And teams can't bring or use keys, iridescents, event items, or add-ons. Survivors can only bring 2 of a perk or item. Survivors can only bring yellow and brown items, and BP bonuses are awarded post-trial. Broken rules may result in penalties or restarts. All right, folks, we are back here again with the Week 4 matchup. Conference rivals, 4 Dwights, 1 Locker versus the defending champions, Creepy Daddy Michaels. And yes, you're watching trial number 4. This is Vigo's court, and we are just now loading in. Let's check out this game. We see Trapper. I think they're throwing away a killer here. I think that is the plan. I don't think they want to risk using a good killer on a team they know they're probably not going to do well against anyway. Now, the only concern there, again, is that Guildspire, if he doesn't get any kills again, is going to continue to work his way off the leaderboard, which kind of sad, but it is what it is. That's just how the game goes.
You mean like me today?
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, buddy. I love you, though. Anyway, Dwight now getting in the chase around the outside of the killer shack. Going to be the first one in chase, and has a big fat target on his back, hoping that he can get some hits, I'm sure. Does some sort of weird bait there. I don't really know what that was about, but he maybe thought he was still being in chase. And Trapper just going to completely ignore that. The Survivor's going to pop a gen in like 3, 2, 1... Pop? No, a little bit early. Sorry. Okay, well, there it is anyway. So the gen pops just in time, and we do see Lori now in the chase as well. She's going to drop that pallet early and finds Freaky JT around the corner as well, who's going to be running into the pallet immediately also. Freaky JT makes a mistake, though, which I'm saying that with a lot of gusto because I don't often see that. Gets caught on a box and does end up taking a hit. Freaky JT now going to continue running, getting to a pallet, probably beating himself up over that little mistake. And now Freaky JT is going to be, again, hopefully impossible to catch is what he's thinking. Please don't let them catch me. He's looking behind him, looking very carefully, working his way towards this back loop. The Jungle Gym is going to be pretty safe. He's going to probably drop this pallet early. He does. He goes for the vault, almost gets hit, but not quite. The killer does end up whiffing on the pallet. And we did also hear a trap in the distance being destroyed. And looking behind him, trying to make sure he has that distance. Instead, going to go for the TNL loop and does get mind game. Freaky JT gonna go down. Oh my god, that is a first for me to see that in a long time. Freaky JT getting down. I think he got down once last week or something like that. Oh my goodness. Shocking, to say the least.
I'm going to call it here. I think they're going to face camp Freaky JT out of the game. I think this is Vendetta. I think this is a hit.
No, he's not. He's going for the Dwight. He just saw Dwight and he's going for him. Now he's proxy camping. Okay, so he is going to proxy camp it, and that is okay. I think that's a good strategy at this point. I mean, it's not an ideal strategy in general, but against a team this strong, I mean, it might be the only chance you got. So let's see how he does. And Freaky JT is just going to continue to wave his arms up in the sky, letting him know the killer is over here. They are on comms, though, so I do wonder why that's necessary. Anyway.
Less vocal thanks to Clutter.
True, less vocal. I get it. That makes sense. You don't have to keep asking, is he still over there or whatever. And he does sort of start to push them off the generator, but doesn't really commit. And starts backing away. Ooh, he almost snuck up on Rejuvenated right back there. However, Lori going to come in for the hook in his face. Lori takes the hit. Freaky JT hot behind. And he does not tunnel JT, instead going after the Lori. Lori sees him placing the trap and then abandons that loop. Gonna instead work toward the TNL loop in the back wall. Going for the L. Jumps over it. Not looking behind her. Does use live, though, to get extra distance. Gonna continue on as we see Exivity coming in for some body blocking plays. Working inside of the Killer Shack. I do believe a quick and quiet by David. David using a head-on to get an extra stun on the killer. Phenomenal play, protecting Lori from any down whatsoever. King Pleb Warrior completely safe now. Gone. He is gone from existence. Nowhere near to be seen. And instead, Exivity is going to take a hit. Doing a little 360 to try to get a whiff, but doesn't work. He does end up taking a hit. Going to work his way back also to a TNL loop. He vaults over the TNL loop successfully. Again, another quick and quiet. Watching behind him, is he going to drop the pallet? He does not drop the pallet early. Instead, going to take the vault just in time, able to make it, and gets the whiff on the window. As Trapper is going to run through the window, going to go around the long wall. He's going to vault it again and again. Another whiff by the killer. Still not able to hit him. He keeps whiffing it, and unfortunately, 4 generators done. This could be GG's right here. And Quick and Quiet's back up, so he does get the Quick and Quiet, but he does obviously see him do it, so it doesn't have much value. However, if Trapper comes around, might be able to get the down here, but the pallet maybe save him. No, he gets the dead heart and another whiff. Third vault through the window as well. Wow. And this is going to be another vault through the T-loop as he goes around the outside. And again, this is one of the longer chases we've seen. Exivity, even though he's a rank 12, showing such strength, not able to get to the pallet, seconds away from the pallet. Could have maybe had that had he gone just a little bit more, but it wasn't quite enough. And we also see, though, David hiding behind, possibly going to try to go for a pallet save. He tries to put down the protection of the traps, but it's not going to be enough. I think we're going to see a pallet save. David taking the trap while the pallet save goes in, and he gets the untrap as well. Oh, my goodness. This save was phenomenal. However, is Exivity going to go down again? No, he's going instead after the David. David going to have to now take the chase. Vaulting through the window. Again, the survivors have not completed this last generator. It is still up for grabs. It may be done very soon, but Freaky JT possibly going to get in the middle of the chase to possibly try to block the David from getting downed. Trapper putting a trap inside the Killer Shack on the window, which is not bad play at all. Rejuvenator going to work his way around the outside again. But Trapper does a nice fake going back into the window. He's not going to make it. Going down, Rejuvenated trip on his first down right here. And he heard the locker play by Dwight. Unfortunately, Dwight was going to try to go in for a head-on play, but it wasn't going to work here, unfortunately, because his Quick and Quiet was not quite ready. I think he accidentally Quick and Quieted through the window, making a mistake on the way into the locker. If he had not heard that, he might actually have gotten away with it. And we already have Lori going in for the unhook. Lori taking the hit now. Going to be probably taking some aggro from the killer. Rank matters in Vigo? No, rank does not matter in Vigo's court. The only point was I'm surprised to see a rank 12 doing so well. But again, rank doesn't really matter. As we've talked before. And Freaky JT might be getting another pallet save if he can. He's body blocking a little bit right here. He's not going to get it. The body block does not allow it. He's not able to get the prompt. That would have been the second pallet save of the game. It was very close. However, unfortunately, Rejuvenated Chip is going to get on the hook. And where is Trapper now? Trapper is camping the hook quite strong. He is feeling a lot of stress, I think, from these sweaty survivors. My goodness, this has been phenomenal gameplays. Like, they're taking these sort of meme ideas and making it into serious, professional, conceptual plays, and it's working really, really well. They've only had a couple of mistakes where it hasn't worked, but unfortunately, Dwight does get caught out, takes a hit right next to the hook, and he's not going to get aggro away from the hook, unfortunately. That means that David is going to have to possibly get camped into second state. They want to get him before he gets to second state, I think. And in comes Dolores. She sees the trap, goes off to the side, gets the David down. She does take the hit at the hook and is now going to be taking aggro. Does not drop the pallet early. No, she goes back for the pallet, drops it early in his face. And loses aggro as Trapper is going to change targets to Dwight, who is injured as well. 3 injured players right now. Dwight drops the pallet early, very wise to do that, and then using the loop to his advantage, and we're going to see Twitch Guiltspire kicking it early. Not even going to try to mind game or anything. Of course, you don't want to because obviously it's a pal you can see through. And he gets a head-on play as well. David coming in with the head-on outside to give him a little extra distance. And then, Activity coming in for a body block. Doing a nice body block in there. Blocking the way through. The survivors now working on the doors as well. Trying to get as much distance as they can. He does get a pallet stun on him right here. And tries to get another one, but he's already vaulted it. A double blind as well. And unfortunately, Activity is going to go down. These guys are really bullying this trapper, but at what cost? They are taking a couple of hooks. And they have not yet gotten the second gate open. Only one gate so far, and he is leaving Dwight on the ground for the moment. Now it does now come back for the pickup, trying to avoid the flashlight save, which I think it worked because he got David away from him far enough that he couldn't get the flashlight save, which is good. However, he puts him right next to the door. Oh, that could be bad. That could be potentially problematic for these servers. They're not going to be able to get that door open. Well, unless he leaves this area. He is kind of taking aggro. Lori is taking the aggro from the killer, which means that the killer... Whoa! A mistake from Lori. King Pleb Warrior taking the bait on the mind game and then ends up going down inside the TNL loop. And this is going to give Meg a chance to go in for the unhook. That may have been a deliberate choice. Maybe they did that on purpose to give them the unhook potential and then get this gate open.
Lori did make a save earlier. I bet Deliverance is incoming.
No Deliverance there. We saw her pull on it, and definitely no Deliverance. She is instead going to die on hook. I don't think that was a deliberate death on hook either. I think that might have been from the bug. However, it doesn't matter because I think she was trying to either 4% or kill herself. Now, they're just kind of standing there, and then they make their escape. So, unfortunately, just a 3-man escape with King Pleb Warrior being the only one to die.
Open?
That was 2 gates open. A little bit of a memey game, but at the same time, they played it super competitively. Like, they really went for the risky saves and almost got a really good handful of them. There was just a couple of mistakes that, I mean, this is why we don't see this as meta. Like, this is why these sort of memey plays aren't the meta. And the reason is because they're just super risky, as we've talked about before. Like, you can very easily make a mistake in those moments. And we saw the killer's build as well. Corrupt Intervention, Pop Goes the Weasel, Save the Best for Last, and Surge. And I think that's going to be it for this one, folks. We're going to probably look at the post-game highlights for this, and then we will call it for tonight. And that'll be GG's. We just need to get this score input.
I apologize. I can't actually see the blood point scores. It's too grainy for me.
I got it. Let me do it here.
It's just 45 second on the clock has got me now.
I'll help you. Sorry for the silence, folks. I'm just helping get the blood points into the system really quick. And I think that's the last one.
Right,
yeah, and the score, I believe, is correct. So we're going to go into the post-game review. We'll be right back after this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're watching Week 4 matchup conference rivals for Dwights 1 Locker versus defending champions Creepy Daddy Michaels. Now, this was Vigo's court. This was trial number 4, and here is what you just witnessed. 5 generators getting done in this game. Not bad at all by these survivors, of course. 3 escapes, though. King Pleb Warrior dying on hook. Sad Panda. However, only 5 hooks for the Trapper, so not a great showing for Trapper with only 1 kill. So that's what we saw. And 89-36 in favor of CDM. CDM, of course, is going to be... What is it, folks? Convicted of murder. That's right. And that is going to be GG's, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to look at some post-game highlights, and then we're going to be on out of here back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I do believe, for PGS versus... Oh, boy, my brain just farted on that. I had it on my head, and now I don't for some reason. Who is it? Anybody remember?
I do not know.
PGS versus D-Hop.
D-Hop? I was about to say, I think D-Hop's the only one that hasn't played this week, so that sounds about right.
Saru, do your little post-game review. Let's listen to what you have to say, because I am curious about your thoughts on this game, and then take us out.
I mean, it's Trapper. This is a killer that you use when, like, from last game. I used this killer because we were already lost, so makes sense. Honestly, did a really good job with Trapper. Had a couple of, like, again, you can only do so much with Trapper, dedicating to chases and not dedicating to chases. It's, neither here nor there. Survivors definitely brought the bully builds. Flashlight, head on, the full works. Honestly, I understand that it's not like quote unquote the most competitive, but it's really good team building if you think about it. It promotes communication, and it's not quite the same communication used all the time, but it does help promote that team play, and I can appreciate that. I see people go into pubs with this kind of style all the time and, try and work on doing plays like this. So I dig it. And I don't think we ever saw a trap, but I mean, if you go against a trapper in a competitive environment, you're probably going to call it just about every single trap that you could find. So honestly, you use it for more during in-game chase. I mean, they used it there trying to prevent, getting the pallet save. And I think they did it just well enough that, like, right here, yeah, Meg couldn't quite fit in to get the pallets done there. And then hitting them and sliding out before they could actually slide in and drop the pallet. So, well played there. Honestly, getting 5 hooks against CDM with Trapper that's honestly about as much as you could ask for, if we're being fair. They even got a 1K off of it, so solid performance from a Trapper's perspective, honestly. Really well done. I mean, you can only do so much setup against this team, so yeah. They did good.
And while I will say, I know that a lot of people are thinking, well, this isn't really, comp builds that they're bringing. And I would agree. And I think the reason is because maybe they're practicing some strategies like this. I don't know. Maybe they're just memeing, but I'm not really sure. I don't know. CDM is not known for that, though. They usually take all their games pretty seriously. So I'm wondering if this was just memeing or if they're actually seriously trying to put this into their builds going forward to do these sort of head-on plays and pallet saves. Now, unfortunately, that's sort of what you just said. What we saw there was what prevented them from being able to do it consistently. It makes it unsafe. It makes it not meta to be able to do it because we see things like where the body block can prevent you from getting a pallet save, or where you mess up your head-on or something when you can't get the head-on save and you get pulled out of the locker. So those kind of things prevent them from being meta, and that's kind of what we saw there a lot, was those mistakes. Now, they did get a couple of them, like you said, and it worked out. But anyway, I think that's going to be it for tonight. Rudy, you want to take us out?
Yes, let's call it an evening. We'll be back tomorrow, like you said, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it'll be PGS versus D-Hop. You've been watching Vigo Score. This was CDM versus 4 Dwights 1 Locker. CDM, the defending champions, coming out on top in the end. Thank you for watching. I've been your Judge Little Rugard. This has been Counselor Poggy. We will see you tomorrow. I was going to say bright and early, but it's really not bright and early now, is it? Have a good evening, everybody.
Me. It's 8 a.m. for me.
Yeah, for you.
Whatever. Bite me.
So before the first gen even pops,
It'll make you wanna call my name.
trying to bait out a hit there, but not able to get it. Freaky's AT able to get away. That was a missed decisive strike. And that is an insta-down.